comment video on the same jackass, KJ11. So I wish he would just, come on, just out yourself. Who the fuck are you? Use a real name here. Sign your little post so we know what jackass you are, because you're probably some jackass who's been around before on YouTube. So out your fucking self, fucker. So here we go again. You say he has no choice but to make videos he makes, and you have no choice but to make the replies you make. That's right. But then you go off abusing him and berating him in the present for not making a reply you want him to make, implying he has free will. No, that doesn't imply any such thing. It implies that his will is changeable, that everything that happens in the world changes you. They pass a law, then you change your behavior, right? You read a bubblegum wrapper and it says, "Don't chew on your shoe." And you say, "Wow, Bazooka Joe's really smart. I don't think I'll chew on my shoes anymore." You get it, fuckhead? Yeah, we change each other with every fucking sentence. If I could say a magic word to make your goddamn head explode, yeah, I'd sure as hell fucking goddamn say it. Alright? But maybe I can say words that'll make you think, and you'll say, "Oh, that's right, the future hasn't happened yet, fuckhead." But if you were a constant determinist, consistent, you would recognize the pointlessness of berating anyone for anything. So this is exactly why I'm mad at Modern Mystic. This is why I hate this conversation. It's because you people just prove that assholes like cunt were right about one thing. If there isn't a God, you have to invent one for you fuckheads. Because apparently you can't understand reality and interpret it correctly. You need somebody to spout it to you from a podium somewhere with the threat of God, because you're just too stupid to figure out simple goddamn things like, yeah, I don't think if I suck all the value out of my neighbor's life that I'm actually being productive, even though it makes me really happy. Yeah, you just common sense like that you can't get. And you can't get common sense like, guess what, determinism doesn't mean you don't play a role in the future. It doesn't mean that everything you do is going to matter. And it matters what ideas are rolling in your head. And if you have a bad idea in your head, how do you think it's going to get out of there? You think you alone are going to be able to push it out every single time? I mean, sometimes your own brain can figure out you're an asshole. You walk into the door and you say, "Holy fuck, I'm dumb. I didn't even know I was supposed to turn the doorknob first and open the door before I walk through it. Gee, maybe I ought to go to school or something because I'm stupid as fuck." So sometimes you can figure it out all on your own. But sometimes you need somebody else to tell you or whisper in your little fucking ear, "You're one dumb motherfucker." And then you say, "Oh, wait a minute, am I a dumb motherfucker?" And then you figure out you're a dumb motherfucker. And you're also giving hostage to fortune in terms of antinatalism. I don't know what that means. As pro-natalists can say they had no choice in the matter but to reproduce. Well, once again, they will or will not. That is the truth of it. Okay? Choice is a matter of programming. You're either running good programs or asshole programs. Now, obviously, the people who reproduce don't sit there and go, "Let me see what kind of programs I'm running. Am I running an arrogant asshole program run on my ego? Am I just acting out of my own interest? Do I have a really good plan here for this new little fart I'm going to fart out?" Do they do any of that? No. So that's why they don't make a choice. They just act because they're retards. They're stupid motherfuckers. They don't lay it out on the table. What's the odds here? It's going to be autistic. What if it's born with one eye? What happens if it is, like, alcoholic and turns into a real son of a bitch? What am I going to take responsibility for that? What if it's a goddamn psycho mega killer? Do I really want to mess with any of that shit? Do they lay all that crap out on the table and make a choice, fucker? No, they don't make a choice. They have a desire. They want. And then they just said, "I'm going to take." Because they're stupid motherfucking cunts like you. Alright, 912. If we see a door closing, we have to deterministically open that door. We have to pave the road to the future. Well, then now he's just quoting me. Be all you can be. Yeah, well, that's that stupid military thing. But the fact is, there is an all you can be. It's right there in front of you. There's an all you can be. in terms of the fact that you can have an idea, an inspiration, a muse, a little sexy chick could whisper something brilliant in your fucking ear, and you could sit there and change your whole direction and be absolutely brilliant. You could be a brilliant contribution to the world. But the odds are that's not going to fucking goddamn happen. But the fact is it can happen. Your programming changes, your action changes, your impact changes. Okay, you're sitting right here now. You can watch the change in you happen. You could watch it happen in any life of any person in the past. You can see little events that tilted them some way, one way, or tilted them another way. Reformed them or destroyed them as people. You can see the fucking thing happen in the past, so you know that's what happens to human beings. They change. They migrate from one way of being to another way of being, and some of those ways of being are clearly good ways of being, and others are shit ways of being. I mean, maybe people ought to listen to the testimony of people that had kids, and then in their hindsight of a little bit more perspective have said, you know, it was just a selfish, stupid idea, and I goofed. You have the power. Well, that's the key phrase here. You just said you don't have the power. So you're exactly verifying the fact that I need to say these words. You have the power. I need to say these words because you're the one who is defeating that power. You're saying, no, you can just sit back and not pave the road to the future. You can decide to just sit back and wait for the future to happen because you play no role in it. That's what you said, asshole. No, the fact is, if the destiny of the human race is going to be deterministically a good outcome, okay, people have to make it that way. It's not going to happen by itself. It's going to happen because people do things. It's like in the past, people had to risk their lives and do underground railroads to get the slaves out of the South. They had to do something to make change happen. All right? And if you're just turning yourself into a non-doer, then yeah, you're just fucking doo-doo. All that implies free will. Well, again, I didn't imply any such goddamn thing. The future is destined. It's inevitable. But the fact is, it's still unknown. And it's all about what kind of shit goes on in our brain, deterministically, even in this conversation about determinism, is deciding our fate. But the fact is, that's how it rolls. And we see it in the past, like I said, that these kind of conversations have to happen first. First, people argue about shit, and then they have fistfights about shit, and then they have wars about shit. But that's how the fucking thing happens, shithead. You're starting to sound like a TED Talk, where you write like a retard, okay? A fucking idiot. A fucking 8-year-old could figure out there's a difference between the past and the future. And when somebody says asshole, they're talking about the future, not the past. Fuckhead. I mean, they're describing the past and hoping for the future. Gary, you're contradicting yourself continually. Yeah, well, you're liar, first off, saying I said things I didn't say. And second, your logic is vacant. Human beings make the future. Human activity makes the future. The activity has to be conducted, the scripts have to be read for a certain future to happen. Good future won't happen if everybody's reading the I'm just going to be a selfish, ignorant asshole. Yeah, if they're all reading that script, nothing good's going to happen. Alright, just dump the determinism debate. It's doing you no favors. Well, whatever. I think I've colossally squashed you like the slimy slug bug that you are, and demonstrated that you're exactly evidence of why this has to be argued, why somebody like me has to call asshole shenanigans and say, no, determinism doesn't mean you're no longer a cog and you're no longer a wheel that needs to turn right ways rather than wrong ways. You can't just sit back and say, I'm going to let the determinism turn me. You're going to have the thought in your head. The thought's going to have to exist that I'm going to make the clock move rather than the clock move me. It's going to be an inaccurate statement, but it's one the brain has to have if it's going to be active in the future. It's got to invest in potential realities that it can't see. okay, that it hopes exists. Because it can't know it's already failed, and it can't think it's already lost. I mean, if everybody knew ahead of time, if all the Japanese soldiers knew ahead of time, we're going to lose the war, would they fight the war? No, they'd say, fuck this, I'm getting now out of here. I'm going to hide under a rock. I'm going to sneak away. I'm going to become a sea urchin for a couple of years. Yeah, they'd find a place to go and hide. They'd say, fuck this, we're going to lose anyway. But they didn't know that. So they had to fight like they were going to win. Right, asshole, right, 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 right. The winning side can't have a bunch of soldiers who say, we're going to lose. Yeah, you're not going to win that way. God, you're dumb. You're dumb, dumb, dumb motherfucker. All right. Yeah, short and sweet.